Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Week 8 NFL Power Rankings. Been a while. I don't think I've done these since like week 3 or 4, so it's definitely time for a shakeup. But before we hop right into the video, as always, we got my plugs. So don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. Also, don't forget to use code Wyatt10, where you can save yourself a discount on any Waggle merchandise. But that's all I got for now. Let's get into my Power Rankings. Alright guys, so here we are at the power ranking list, and there should be no need for an explanation as to how this works, so we're just gonna go right to the bottom and start with team number 32. Who do I think is the worst in the league currently? Well, that's pretty obvious. At this point, it's the team that doesn't have a win. It's the Carolina Panthers. Look man, they're gonna get their first win soon. I said week 8, so we could be there right now. I don't think it'll be quite yet, but they're definitely the worst team in the league as far as experience and chemistry goes, and I know I've been saying that the entire year, but it's just the truth, and injuries are not helping them, and neither is Frank Reich. This team is just too fresh, too unfamiliar, and this season they were never set up for success. Moving on to number 31, we got the Cardinals. Just talked about them yesterday. Yeah, at the beginning of the season they kind of stunned a few of us, but they haven't looked good since they beat Dallas, and that was 4 or 5 weeks ago. Number 30, Chicago. Look, I know coming off of a win, it's kind of harsh to put them all the way down here, but I'm just not impressed with any aspect of the team. I mean, Justin Fields will do the thing where he wows all of us 1 week out of every 8, but aside from that, it just seems like you're the same shitty Bears. And as far as Baggett goes, I still have not watched him play. Maybe I will this week, but I have no reason to care. Now moving on to 29, we got the Raiders, the team that actually just lost to the Bears. Look, I just think they have a better roster. I think they have a better team. Clearly, I don't think they're good. They're at 29, but in comparison to the team that they just lost to as to why, you know, they're above them, simply just star power. The Raiders and the Bears played 5 times. I'm betting you the Raiders would win 3 of them. Especially if Jimmy was healthy. Not that he had anything to do with the Raiders giving up 30 points in the first place. But anyway, moving on. Now we are at 28. Give me the Giants. Again, they got a win, so it's kind of harsh to put them down low, but when it comes to defense, they're bottom 10. When it comes to offense, they're bottom 4. Hopefully this is the start of something good, but they just have not been successful. All right, now we're on to 27. Patriots. Hey, they beat the Bills. You got to give them some credit there, and Mac Jones actually looked really, really good. But in hindsight, this team still remains to be one of the lowest powered offenses and one of the most boring teams in the entire league. Sitting at 2-5, only averaging 14 points a game, like, get out of here. 26. Give me the Broncos. Like, this is a team that still has a lot of really good pieces on it. It's just a team that still hasn't figured it out. And I know you could be like, well, they're not figuring it out because their players are bad, but we all know that isn't true. Are you gonna try and tell me Pat Surtain and Justin Simmons are bad? No, their defense is dead last in the league, and it's because of Vance Joseph. All right, 25, we got the Titans. I actually wanted to put them lower, but I didn't have the heart to do it. I think this team is fucking horrible, and I called it this preseason. I said when D-Hop went there, they would maybe then win 5 games. They're shit, and they just lost their best defensive player. They're probably gonna lose Henry and D-Hop now, which I don't know what they're gonna do when Henry's gone, because that's all they do is run the ball. This team is bottom 3 in the league when it comes to passing yards per game on average at 173. You're not gonna be a good team throwing the ball like that. Get out of here. 24. Green Bay. Like I said, low-key atrocious. Jordan Love has got to get his accuracy and his deep ball under control, otherwise that offense is gonna continue to struggle. And now we're on to 23. Give me the Commanders. Definitely not a great team. Definitely not a horrible team. They're a team that is, I guess I could say, holding their own. I think their offense has a lot of potential. We just need to see some consistency, and their defense is actually starting to really straighten out. It's just their team as a whole did not perform last week. All right, now we're on to 22. The Saints. They have a lot of good players. They have a very, very good disruptive defense. Anybody throwing against them this year so far, I'm pretty sure has had a horrible fucking time. But their quarterback is ass, their offensive coordinator is ass, and their coach is ass. 21. The Rams. Like I said, they're a team that's like, okay, they might be good, but deep down we know they're not good, but we think there's a chance they could surprise us. But again, deep down we know they're not going to because they're just not there yet. Defense is still missing pieces. Offense is still battling injuries, it seems like, every single week. They just need another year. I bet you next season they're a really good team again. 20. Tampa Bay. They've really taken a fall with me, and I think they've probably taken a fall with everybody. They started off the year by shocking a lot of people, and now they're really just not looking all that good. And knock on wood, because the Bills play them tonight. I mean, in 3 out of their last 4 games, not only have they lost, but they have scored under 15 points. Defensively, they're doing pretty well, but offensively, it's looking like we're having some consistency issues or a complete meltdown, one of the two. 19, the Colts, a team that I think was bottom 3 in my preseason power rankings. You're asking me, they're the definition of a solid team. You know their offense is top 10 right now? That's wild. Win, lose, or draw, they don't care. Every single week, they're gonna go out there and make you earn whatever you get. They actually remind me a lot of the Minnesota Vikings. 18, the Chargers. One of the best offenses in the league with one of the worst defenses in the league. What I call that is a very fun combination. They only have 2 wins. I'm convinced they would have probably 4 if they had a different head coach, but I'm not going to put all the blame on him. This team, year in and year out, is talked up through the roof, and year in and year out, they disappoint the entire world. 17, Atlanta. They're another definition of a solid football team to me. We all know that I hate their quarterback, but other than that, I actually like pretty much everything else about that team. And their defense, ranked 3rd right now, the Atlanta Falcons. That's actually funny because I was really high on their defense this offseason, and I kept hearing the people being like, Jesse Bates isn't gonna fix that, dude. Calais Campbell's too old. Their corners aren't even good that they got. That's what you sound like. All right, 16, give me the Jets. I got them in the middle of the pack because that's exactly how I view them as a team. Obviously, their defense is loaded with power, their offense is loaded with injuries and inconsistencies, but somehow, some way, they find a way to compete and they find a way to win games, even with everything going on. It's kind of impressive. 15, give me the Texans. Love the energy D'Amico Ryans has brought there, and I love the relationship CJ is starting to build with different parts of his offense. Lately, we've been seeing it with Dalton Schultz. Defensively, the team could be performing better, but offensively, man, it looks like a 1,000% upgrade from Davis Mills last season. 14, the Vikings. They're back for now. Seriously, this could have been a team the entire time that you had ranked as high as probably top 12 and as low as bottom 30 because they were losing, but by so little every game and by the most minor mistakes. Now they got it rolling. They have a very favorable future, and their defense is finally top half in the league, and that's something I don't think I've seen since 2017. 13, give me the Bengals. Think they have a good roster. I think they're starting to figure things out. They just had a bye week, which is going to allow the entire team, including Burrow, to rest up even more. Now, with everything I just said about them that sounds hopeful, they do still have some problems to address. One of them being the dead last offense in the entire league, and I'm pretty sure their defense is bottom 5 too. It's not good. But they did have a hellacious start, and I think that their future is going to be a lot brighter. 12, give me the Steelers. Love the coach, love the defense. The offense, I want to puke. Matt Canada doesn't know how to call plays, and their offensive line is great as it was supposed to be, or the improvement, it doesn't appear to actually be all that much improved. Again, I don't watch Steeler games like that, but that's just off of a general fan's observation. And now we got number 11, the Browns. They got the best defense in the league, baby. They're the only team who has not allowed 1,000 passing yards. Let alone, they haven't even allowed 900 yet. That is how far above everyone else's secondary they are performing. If Nick Chubb did not get hurt and karma did not hurt Deshaun Watson, this team would probably be top 5. All right, now we're into the top 10, and starting with number 10, I'll take Seattle. What I see here is a good team with a ton of offensive depth, but the lack of experience from a lot of their players is the reason for a lot of their mistakes, dude. They're young, and I mean very young, outside of pretty much Bobby Wagner and Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett at this point. This team is 25 years and younger. DK Metcalf is only 25. I don't have any worries about them. Number 9, the Bills. Probably overrating them, honestly. If you think I am, I agree. I just don't have the heart to drop them out of the top 10 yet. If they lose tonight 100%, I'll drop them out of the top 20. But I do believe that this team is just in a slump. I know that their defense is fucked with injuries, and people are going to hate hearing that because it sounds like an excuse, even though it kind of is. But let's see how they go tonight, because like I said, I'm expecting an offensive eruption from Josh Allen, and I'll bet the bank on it. 8, the Lions. Definitely still a top 10 team. Definitely still have one of the most electric offenses in the league, and I definitely still think they are on pace to cruise right into the postseason. They just got their asses handed to them last week, dude. That's happened one time all year. Shit happens. 7, Dallas. Whether they are coached to victory or not, even though I think McCarthy's actually been doing majority of a good job this season, I still think that team, that roster as a whole, is one of the most complete in the NFL. Their defense is still number 5 in the league, and I'm expecting a second half offensive explosion from them. I got Dallas at 7. Now we got 6. Give me Miami. Look, I gave you guys your flowers. You can hang with good teams, but you can't beat them. 6 is a phenomenal number, but I'm gonna struggle to put you in the top 5. When even though you guys didn't look that bad, you still haven't beaten a team above 500 in over 400 days. I'm kind of like a slingshot, you know, I pulled my insult away, but then I just fired it right back in your face. All right, number 5, San Francisco. Still think you guys are a juggernaut of a team, but I'm not gonna keep you above 5 when you've lost back-to-back games. And now you're adding Brock Purdy to the injury report where Sam Darnold is gonna start in his place. Not sure how this week is gonna look. Number 4, Jacksonville. They deserve it. Roster-wise, no, they're not as good as the 49ers. I'm very well aware of that. But this team has been finding ways to gut out nearly any opponent they've been facing, and in recent weeks, they have been fantastic at finding different ways to score points when one thing isn't working. They're not like Matt LaFleur where something fails and they just try it 100 more times. The best thing about the Jags right now too is they're not playing at their full steam, and everybody knows that. So imagine what they're gonna look like when they are. 3, Baltimore. They've looked good. Lamar looked really good last week too. Also defensively, they've just been juggernauts. I know the Ravens, you know, typically have a top defense. Okay, this isn't just the top, like we're now comparing them against the best. Matter of fact, the Ravens are the only team in the NFL who has not allowed 100 points yet, so take that. All right, moving on to number 2, give me the Chiefs. This is close, and I know a lot of people have the Chiefs at 1, and you're not wrong for it, and I know I always do 1 and 2 at the same time, so why don't we just get it done? But I think the Eagles, they got more power, they got more pop than the Chiefs. The Chiefs got the best quarterback in the league. The Chiefs got the best coach in the league. The Chiefs got the best tight end of all time, and they've got a defense who has been sneaky dominant this year. They've only allowed 105 total points. That's great. But the Eagles, to me, they've just got such a complete defense, and they've got an offense with so many weapons that there is actually no way to game plan of which way you're gonna get hit by. The Chiefs, you have a pretty goddamn good idea. It's just you can't stop him because Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. The Eagles, I mean, they've got running backs, they've got receivers, they've got tight ends, they've got a quarterback who can run. You never know, and it's that element that's gonna give them the upper hand from me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for my Week 8 NFL Power Rankings. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to show support, you already know what to do, and please turn on that bell. I try to post on this channel as often as I can. However, with everything I just said, I'm gonna hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Go Bills! And as always, I will see you in the next video.